Hello everybody, I'm Louise.
I'm Ro.
And together we are In the Loop. Today we are joined by Lisa from Level 3 Creative. Hi Lisa.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us today. So I know we explained a little bit about what this is all about. So what we want to try and do is put some podcasts out there to help business owners, whether they're just setting up or whether they've just set up. So probably in like the first year of their business life, just to try and help them a bit on things that they should be considering, things that they should do, could do, and the pros and cons of doing all these things. So tell us a bit about what you do. I know it's you and your husband as well, isn't it?
Yeah, so we run Level 3 Creative, creative design and marketing agency, been running for over 19 years now. Both got a large experience area, if you like. Myself, I deal mainly with the general day-to-day graphic design work. Branding's my passion, so that's the thing I really get excited about.
When you say branding, what does that cover?
So that will cover, say, a new client, a new business startup comes to us. They want a logo. A lot of companies, startup companies, I appreciate, don't have much of a budget, and they'll go to something like Fiverr or somewhere online and get a quick, very cheap logo. I won't say designed because it's not designed, it's just a logo off the shelf, which you'll see many times over the country.
Oh yeah, I've seen those a few times, especially with plumbers. They've got like the same flame on the vans as everyone else.
Or the same rooftop with the building company.
And there's another one I've seen, and they got the same one as what's it on Trustpilot? The same eyes.
Oh.
So I think they're like taken from everywhere.
Yeah. So you've got to be careful. I mean, branding's such a big area. But as I say, sort of for myself, I do lots of general sort of graphic design work, so all your marketing material, social graphics. I produce a lot of icons, which are obviously very useful on your emails or socials or websites, or even printed literature. Sean deals a lot with 3D work, so he works with a 3D modelling software, which I'm presently learning as well, which is all very, very good and very useful for product development, for example, as an area. We have various clients that come to us with different needs. We actually had a radio station actually come to us who wanted their station reconfigured, and they wanted to see how it might look, especially with all their new branding, and it had lovely sort of soundproofing shapes, I shall call them, which you put onto walls and things to help sort of buffer the sounds and make the sound work within the studio.
I think the visuals are so important, aren't they? Because we're about to do an extension at home, and I printed loads of the plain floor plans, and I've been sat drawing where the cooker's going to go and stuff like that, just to try and work out. So I can see why businesses would want to
save your cost as well, because if you draw it up, then I imagine you can just move things along tables. Or
absolutely. So it's dead easy really in that respect, to sort of manipulate a room to make the furniture or whatever items, equipment is in it, make it work more efficiently, and also get the flow right. But from a client's point of view, it really does help them to understand space. So it's a really good tool, very useful. It's quite complex, and I think, to be honest, that there's so much to learn about it. You can animate in it as well if you want to. Not that I'm looking to go there particularly. I'm definitely not looking to be a next Pixar. But just to be able to be involved in sort of 3D design work, which is a completely different way of thinking than, as I do sort of like pen on paper, so to speak, two-dimensional design. It's a totally different way of thinking. So it's great. It's great for me to sort of stretch my brain as well.
And then with branding, do people have an idea, give you the idea and say, or do they just say, run with it, whatever you're thinking?
Well, it's always best to ask up front, because, sometimes I say, oh, whatever you think, I'll produce, say, half a dozen different ideas, and they'll come back, no, I don't like any of those. I actually quite like this sort of idea. Well, tell me that in the first place. Start with that. And we'll have a little bit of direction to work from. But no, most clients are pretty good. They'll say, okay, I like, say, green and orange as my colours, or, I've looked on the internet, I like this sort of look and feel, and they'll give me a general direction which I can follow. and I will produce designs based around those colours or those looks and whatever, then I'll always throw a wild card into the mix just to see what happens.
So if someone was setting up their business now, or they just set up and perhaps either hasn't got a logo or has got one of these ones off one of these sites, what are the sort of things that you would ask them for then? So you just mentioned about colour scheme. So is there much that they would need to have a think about beforehand?
Even fonts. I've seen some people got their own fonts.
Well, absolutely. It really depends. I mean, it depends on the sector they're in. It depends on the audience they're trying to reach. I've been working with a client recently. I've not been dealing with their branding, which I wish I had, because they're in quite a serious sector and their logo's a bit more Playmobil.
Okay.
A bit, it doesn't suit.
A logo
their
is
business.
very much a first impression, isn't it, of the business?
It totally is, and it needs to be clear. It needs to be, I say simple, I don't mean simple in its execution, but if you look at some of the biggest sort of logo brands like BMW, Coca-Cola, they're strikingly simple, to be perfectly honest, and that's really important. But it needs thought. You can't just pick up a font and write your name or the company name. Oh, that'll do. You can't do that. It deserves and warrants thoughts and some love put into it. You need to research these things. You need to properly understand the audience and the general sort of feel of the business. There's no point giving an accountancy business Barbie pink logo, for example. What depends on the audience, I suppose. But, you've got to be so careful with colours as well. It's a bit of a joke in the design world that certain sectors attract certain colours, like accountancy tends to be blue, a navy blue. So
I definitely stuck away from that one.
yeah, well, a good move. Just break the mould, just do something completely different.
Have you got a favourite logo?
I knew you were going to ask me that. No. The trouble is with me, I'm always drawn to cars and branding on cars. I'm quite obsessed by it.
I see Kia changed their logo, didn't they?
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah.
They do tend to do a bit of a refresh, these companies, which is quite good. And that's not a bad thing at all, because you still know the name.
Yeah.
It's just
Vauxhall's symbol changed as well, didn't it?
Yeah.
Quite a while ago.
sort of griffin thing they've got.
Someone else quite big recently changed theirs. I can't remember who it was now.
Well, it was funny because with the logo stuff, we were only saying last week, and obviously I won't mention the business name, but we were saying that with the type of their business, actually the logo and branding surrounding it that comes alongside it actually makes it look not as serious as I think they're trying to be.
Absolutely, yeah.
So it kind of almost looks a bit, I don't want to say childlike, but yeah, just not quite, a bit more amateurish to where their aspirations are, I think. And that was just literally through a conversation, and that just came up when talking about what they did. So yeah, it is a very big thing. But is branding then, so you and Sean have obviously done this for 19-ish years. Is this what you've always done, or did you do something different before, like the marketing? And
No, we've both been graphic designers since the year dot.
Wow.
And we've sort of worked in different agencies and different businesses, different situations over the years. And then 19 plus years ago, Sean started Level 3 Creative with his then business partner, very nice chap called Victor, who is Spanish and moved back to Spain for family reasons. And so then it was Sean solo for a bit, and then I came on board, I don't know, 7 years ago, maybe it was now.
What's that like working with your husband then?
It's fine.
It's obviously
He's not here, it's fine. You can say it.
It's changed a lot then, because in 19 years ago you weren't doing Facebook ads for people and social media.
Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy how the industry's changed. I remember going onto a computer for the first time ever. Before that, I was on a big drawing board.
Yeah.
It's absolutely crazy how it's changed. And I was lucky enough to get the opportunity to work on a computer, to learn it all, and to get into design that way. So,
what would you say has been like one of the biggest struggles that you've found, sort of in running your own business? Because obviously it's just the two of you, isn't it?
that's right. I think I guess with a lot of smaller business, it's getting your name out there, getting in front of people, and trying to sort of pick up new clients. I mean, that's a continuous struggle for most businesses, and say struggle. It's it's a challenge, isn't it? We've all got to do it. We've all got to put ourselves out there and meet people.
How do you do that for level 3 creative? What do you find works for you?
For me, I think it's networking. We do some bidding on some of these online platforms as well, which has brought in a few fairly big clients, to be honest.
Okay. Do you have to pay for for each bid, or how does that work?
Yeah, you do. You have to pay for credits.
Okay.
And some platforms work better than others. I mean, there's one platform that we spent an awful lot of money on, and we've had nothing out of it. Nothing at all.
I've got similar things. Yeah.
Some of them it's very trial and error, isn't it?
Yeah.
But then, like, do you still get people that want cheaper and can get it abroad?
Oh, absolutely. You always get people, sort of saying, oh, well, I can get this done for, whatever price. Well, sorry.
This is what my time's worth.
Exactly. This is what we charge per hour. This is how we charge things, and you'll always get people trying to knock you down. Occasionally we'll maybe shave a bit off for perhaps a new client. But we try not to, because we value our experience. We know that what we can produce is good. I love communicating. I love talking to clients and finding out what they want, what they're about, and to sort of try and explore different ideas with them as well. To see if we can't sort of stretch them a little bit, so that's always quite good fun. So I do enjoy sort of.
It's nice seeing it all come together as well, when you've got the logo and then they've got maybe perhaps some leaflets or brochures or other bits that all come together with it.
I'm a sucker for a branded item. I'm absolutely ridiculous.
Thing is, it makes it all recognisable, doesn't it?
Thing for this week.
How exciting!
I just love it on sort of on workwear, or
yeah,
on water bottles that lots of companies buy for their staff.
Yeah.
It's the little things, and it's great to sort of have the everything branded properly. Even sort of invoices or anything electronic you get sent. It might be a case study or something that you download off the internet from this particular client. If it's all branded solidly and properly, it looks fantastic. It looks professional, and it gives you more confidence in that company that they can actually do it.
But even like the colours, like that Coca-Cola's got that particular red.
Yeah, it has. Yeah.
And no one else can use it, and different.
And the Cadbury's blue and the Tiffany
blue,
turquoise
teal colour. Yeah, that's it. You can't find that colour.
EasyJet orange.
Yeah.
So what would you say if you had to give someone a top tip for starting their own business, whether it's just general starting a business or whether it's to do with branding itself? What would you say?
I would say sit down, give yourself proper time to think about your business, about what sector it's going into, who your target audience are. Probably give yourself some proper time to really consider every single aspect of it, where you are now and where you want to be, say in 5 years, 10 years, even the end result where you want to be. Set yourself a little bit of a journey. You may or may not stick to it, but you need to have that thought process. You need to be able to plan it exactly. It's so important. You can't just sort of rush into a business. Today I think I'm going to open a hairdresser's. You can't. You've got to have a bit more thought. You've got to research the area for a start, and also make sure you get the right staff in place if you need staff. So
definitely,
there's so much to consider.
I also think what you said, like, it's become a bit of a common theme now. We've interviewed like several people that a lot of people are getting their work from networking. That seems to be a common thing people are bringing up, the majority. And about like how much their time's worth, because we've had it a few times now that are people saying they go for cheaper, they come back, and so
pricing is so
time.
difficult. We've been looking recently. We're looking at a new system to bring into place, which is going to save clients so much time. But when we're looking at the pricing, obviously there's a cost of the subscription itself, and then there's the cost of our time, and some of these things, it might be, it's going to cost you £75 a month. Now, some people would look and think, oh, I can't pay that. But actually, when you look at the time that they save, if they were to think about, how much they perhaps would charge an hour for their services, etc., etc. So sometimes you almost feel like you're having to really break everything down and explain to them. Pricing's so difficult. Everyone wants everything for nothing now.
Oh, they are absolutely true. Absolutely.
Although yesterday, actually, I ended up calling Lisa 50 times because I needed to make this form. And I was like, you know me with computers, I'd rather throw it at the wall.
I think my mum's better than you with computers.
And then yesterday I was like, right, it's taken up all my time. I just, like, Lisa, can you make this form? Quote, yeah, done. Because I just thought, there's no way I can get that. I can't make that in an hour or whatever.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. And the same, I had a client yesterday who said, I'm trying to reconcile this one thing. This is what it's for. Couldn't work out how to do it. It took me all of 30 seconds to do it for him. Obviously didn't charge anything, but you've got to use people in the know, haven't you? Which is why with the logos and the branding and everything like that, it's all very well. People can sit there and perhaps even go on Canva and create their own logo, but there's going to be hundreds of other people that have got that same image or that same font or the same colours. And
that's true. And also with those online systems as well, a lot of the time you might have some nice business cards printed through whichever online site you go to. You can't take the logo with you. It's their property. It's not your property.
Yeah.
And that becomes a bit of a sticking point if you want some nice big signage done.
Definitely.
So
with one thing that I was talking to someone about the other day, so obviously you do the design, you do the logos, I know you also put together leaflets and materials and stuff like that. With how so much has gone digital nowadays, do you find that you're having to print or organise print a lot less than before?
Oh, totally. Yeah, print has really fallen through the floor in the last 10 years. We used to have a client, one of these little pop-up booths all around the UK actually, a pretzel company, and we used to do lots of vouchers, 20% off or whatever. If you're on these vouchers, you hand it in, you get 20% off your pretzel. That's gone, because everything's now sort of, you download the app or you send a QR code with a special discount. There are people that still need brochures and things printed. Sort of end of year reports is a classic one. There are still companies that like to have, proper reports and accounts printed for their shareholders. Their shareholders are investing thousands, maybe millions of pounds in your business. You want to show them how the year's been.
Yeah.
Okay, and they expect to see it. So
in a professional way.
Those absolutely right, and those sort of things are still required. There is still print out there. I mean, I love designing for print because there's nothing nicer than picking up something that you've designed.
I love it. I can't help it.
It's fantastic.
Yeah,
it's absolutely fantastic.
But even like leaflet drops, I don't know. I just feel a bit bad. It's like a waste company. We're meant to be recycling, and then we're giving you a bit of paper, and then I just think, oh, someone's going to dump it, and it just, I don't know.
I mean, I think there's definitely a place for print. If we're looking at certain things, I like to sit with some type of magazine or brochure and flick through the pages.
Yep.
I do really like that. Sometimes I will look at stuff online, and depending what it is, I might print it so that I've got something that I can then write on and make some notes. And I do really like that. Although as a company, we're now trying not to print items. So we have got everything digital so that we can send it. But yeah, there's still definitely a big place for printing.
Totally. And there's lots of things that print is still needed for. If you go into any shop, any high street shop, there's gift tags, there's packaging. It's still going to be needed. Okay, we just tailor it to make it more, environmentally friendly.
Oh, I saw your ones talking about branding at the post office.
Oh,
they're a good little
I saw those.
Oh, there we go. It's working.
Yeah. Luke's
picked out the colours.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. No, that's great. We always, at the end of any chat, we always ask a really random question.
Yeah.
So I think Rupert's going to ask a question today.
Right. If you could have any biscuit with your tea for the rest of your life, only one, which one would you have?
Okay, putting aside the fact I'm gluten intolerant.
All right, let's have a different question. You could have any water for the rest of your What flavour would you have?
Oh, can we go back to the biscuit question? It's far more interesting. Bourbon.
A bourbon.
I love bourbons because you can pull them apart. A bit like the Oreos. Oh, sorry, I like that.
Oh, I do like a bourbon.
But you can't get a gluten-free bourbon. No.
I'll eat the middle bit with your tea flakes. Drink it off.
That's it.
Oh, amazing. And before we do let you go, if anyone wanted to get in touch then to speak to you about their branding or logos or anything like that, where can they find you and where's the best place to contact you? What's your preferred method?
Okay, well, I would say personally, go to our website, so level3creative.com, and that's the figure 3, level 3 creative. You can email us directly from the website or email me, so lisa@level3creative.com, so it's nice and easy. We are on LinkedIn and we are on Facebook and Twitter as well. X, sorry, not Twitter.
I still can't get my head around that.
No, so again, just search up Level 3 Creative, so it's figure 3 or Level 3 Create, and you should find us.
And also to plug you quick, you also do websites as well, don't we touch that?
We do indeed.
Which a lot of like startups, that's what they first think of getting.
Absolutely, and again, we always try and take into consideration that startup companies may not have a huge budget to work from. So we design and build websites ourselves. So we've got a programmer we work with, a developer. Yeah. So if you need something quite specific, so if perhaps it's an e-commerce or something with lots of e-forms or something that's really involved, then we'll hand it to them to do. But for the majority of startups, and I know there's going to be lots of people cringing at this, but you can go to the likes of Wix and produce an incredibly good website. Solid, it works, everything's kept up to date because that's what they do. They make sure that any sort of new technologies there for you, it's updated for you, so you don't have to keep going back to your web developer and saying, "Oh, can you update this for me because it doesn't work anymore?" It's done automatically. So there's lots of plus sides to these online platforms, and cost wise they're probably a bit more efficient if you're a startup, but having said that, it swings and roundabouts. If you want something a bit more streamlined and a bit more individual, then perhaps go to a programmer, designer first, and then get it programmed properly.
Well, another great top tip there.
Well, pretty easy.
Thank you, Lisa. If anyone wants to get in touch with Lisa, we will put all of the links so that they're available to find them on social media and get in contact. And obviously, as Lisa said, you can contact on the website. So anything from websites to graphic design, talking about your logo and your branding. So thank you very much for coming to speak to us today.
Thank you, Lisa.
And if anyone's got any questions that they want to send over, please do so. Any rants, any topics you want covered that we haven't covered already, please do let us know. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Dee Shepherd from SMJ Media Group. If you like what we do and if you enjoyed what you heard today, then please do continue to support us. Support us in our conversations, in our events, in our communication, and how we publish and how we promote all local businesses. So how do you do that? Well, you can buy me a coffee. Where? buymeacoffee.com/SMJ Media Group.